Hey, this is Brian again. If you're online looking for the difference between a PC and a Mac, or the difference between a Mac and a PC, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. I used to be a PC guy. I had PC computers basically from the time I got my first computer all the way up until 8 years ago. And then it actually wasn't quite 8 years, almost 8 years ago. And then 8 years ago, something unique happened to me. I had my laptop computer that I had taken with me on a business trip. It kept freezing up and kept locking up, and I got frustrated by that. And then I came home and I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I'm back home with, a computer that actually works. And I jumped on my Sony Vaio desktop, which was about 3 years old at the time, and went to start up Windows and do some work, and that thing froze up, and I just flipped. I just snapped. And I grabbed my wallet and I walked out the door and I went up to Best Buy and I bought a MacBook computer and I bought an iMac desktop, and I jumped from PC to Mac. And I'm going to tell you something, I've never, ever, ever looked back. I absolutely love Mac. I know there's people on both sides of this fight, so please don't get me wrong. There's some people who are going to tell me I'm full of poo, I don't know what I'm talking about, that Windows is the best ever and nothing could ever compare. And that's fine, and that's okay, because everybody's entitled to what they believe, right? But what I believe is that a PC is just a superior machine. Now, you're going to pay for it, right? They're much more expensive, but I think that, just overall the hardware is better, the aesthetics are better. I love the operating system, seems to work better. You don't have to run antivirus software on a Mac. You can, and some folks would say that you should, but I know people that have never done it, and they've had them for years, and they've never had an issue. And not having that hardcore antivirus software on the computer is actually going to help it run smoother, run faster. One of the reasons why Windows computers get so bogged down is because every single process has to go through the antivirus software, and then they still end up picking up viruses and Trojan horses and everything else, which slows them down and bogs them down even more. You're not going to have those issues with the Mac. I've had my Macs now, I've gone through. Well, I had an iMac for about 6 years, just replaced it about a year ago. Had a MacBook for the same amount of time. I just replaced it about 6 months ago, 8 months ago maybe. And I tell you, in all that time, in the almost 8 years now that I've been running Mac, I haven't had any problems. I haven't had them freeze up. I haven't had them lock up. They don't do the spinning, hourglass of death. The computer doesn't do the I'm thinking for 20 minutes thing while you're waiting for it to do what you asked it to do. You don't run into any of those issues. Now, there are some challenges with Mac. I don't want to overstate it too much here. With Mac, you're going to have some software compatibility issues. If you're a gamer, you might have to go buy the Mac versions of your games. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve as you're moving from Windows to Mac. But overall, those things are totally worth it, in my opinion. The difference between a PC and a Mac is you get what you pay for. I do everything on my Mac. I run my business on my Mac. I work from home. I work from this office right here, and I make a great living sitting right here in this little room on this one computer. So if you want to know some more about that, you can click on the link I put below the video. It'll take you to workingwithbrian.com. I'll give you the blueprint I use to come home, start working for myself. All that stuff is great. But I'm convinced, whether it's for work or play, that the Mac is a better machine. So bring on the hate mail. I'm ready for it.